the way, a side note, you notice that there's a better camera quality? I switched my phones. I had bought this phone a long time ago, but the people at the booth store told me it was a crappy phone. I have yet to find anything wrong with it, except that it's a little slow when you try to overwork it. But that's any phone, and it just dinged. So you probably heard that. But you know what? Oh well. Hi guys, welcome back to Magic Monday, where I tell you the magic of using cloth. Um, Sorry I look like poo-poo this morning. I forgot to record this last night. So, today on Magic Monday, I am going to give reasons why I use cloth and why I use upcycled cloth versus purchasing cloth. Okay. So first off, I use cloth because, one of the main reasons is because I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and with polycystic ovarian syndrome, you have a higher risk of cervical cancer, and I have a higher risk of cervical cancer with my family history anyway. So any chances I can lower that, I'm going to. So I decided that I was going to make the switch to cloth. Reason being, with disposables, even with tampons, there's so many chemicals in those. Like, I don't know any chemicals off the top of my head, but there's just a lot of harming chemicals that I cannot believe are even in a disposable pad that is allowed against your skin. Like it's terrible. Okay. Sorry, my pen. Anyway, another main reason is comfort. Cloth is 100% more comfortable than a disposable. With a disposable, it's like you're wearing a diaper and it's just uncomfortable, and I don't know if anybody else has had this problem, but it has a tendency of sticking to my skin, and it's really uncomfortable, and I just hate it. So when I switch to cloth, it's almost like you're wearing underwear, and sometimes you forget you're on your period, and I like the feeling of, oh, I feel comfortable. I feel confident. I don't feel like people can hear me in public. I don't feel like when you walk, how it makes a with the disposable. You don't hear anything with the cloth pads. And then that brings me to my next point. When you're in the bathroom and you open the pad, you hear the ripping of the plastic. Yeah, you don't hear that with a cloth pad. You hear maybe you hear the button snapping. That could be anything, a number of things. Your purse, it could be your shirt, it could be your pants, it could be a bracelet, it could be anything. People don't know. So all they hear is that snap, and they assume that, it's something else, not a pad. I'm trying to think of other big points, because, by the way, a side note, you notice that there's a better camera quality? I switched my phones. I had bought this phone a long time ago, but the people at the booth store told me it was a crappy phone. I have yet to find anything wrong with it, except that it's a little slow when you try to overwork it, but that's any phone, and it just dinged. So you probably heard that, but you know what? Oh well. Anyway, so the camera quality is better. So but with this camera, I can't pause it like I did the last one. Okay, so back to this. You'll probably think, well, I use tampons. I don't personally use tampons, but they do have alternatives for that also. First off, they have cloth tampons, where it's just this piece of fabric about yay big with a string on it that you roll up like a piece of cloth you roll, and then you stick it in. Okay, I'm fine with that. I don't use them. They seem uncomfortable, but to each their own. Excuse me. So they have the cloth tampons. They have the crochet tampons, which is basically the same thing. You crochet a thing about that big with a string, you roll it up, stick it in, blah, blah, blah. They also have sponges where you roll it to where it's like flat, you stick it in, and then it expands, and then it soaks up all the blood, blah, blah, blah. All these are reusable tampons. There's one more thing, and I know you all are screaming at me about it, but hang on, I'm getting there. Anyway, so these are all reusable tampons that I think you might be able to use the sponge more than once if you rinse it out real good, but the other ones are use, put in the hamper type thing. One thing, I know you guys are still screaming at me, Amber, you're forgetting the cup. No, I'm not forgetting the cup. Here's the cup. Okay, it's a supplement for a tampon. I don't have one to show you, but I have one coming in the mail, which is going to be another Magic Monday, because I do use tampons to go swimming and whatnot, but anyway, that's besides the point. That's more of a TMI, but it's about yay big, and it's made of medical grade silicone, and what it is you fold it, you stick it in. I'll explain more about it later, but you fold it, you stick it in, and it opens up and it collects all the fluid. Then when you go to use the bathroom, you take it out, you dump it, you rinse it out, you stick it back in. That you can reuse, and that you can have in up to 12 hours without it leaking. And it's a lot more healthier for you. It's medical grade silicone, so there's no bad chemical in it. And you also forget that you're on your period, and you don't have the mess in your pants. So, if you're more of a tampon person, there's no excuse. There is other options. What is that? The chemical shock syndrome or something like that. The where the chemicals react to the body or whatever with a tampon or something. I don't know off the top of my head. Like I said, I personally don't use tampons unless I'm swimming, so I don't know. I find them completely uncomfortable because they're just dry and disgusting. So anyway, that's the reason I use cloth. Another big one that I'm using cloth for me. I actually didn't know about cloth originally. I didn't find out about cloth diapering until my sister-in-law was pregnant. So she told me about cloth diapering. I got into cloth diapering, started researching more cloth options, which I found cloth paper towels, cloth this, cloth that, cloth this. Then I found Mama Cloth, which is the cloth pads. And I figured if I'm spending a little extra time gonna future cloth diaper my children, why can't I spend the little extra time and cloth pad? So I decided I was gonna cloth pad. So I started making my own. Now, you're probably saying, Amber, why didn't you just buy some? It'd probably be easier. Wrong. I had a ton of old clothing that had holes, and I just couldn't give them up because they were special to me, because they were so-and-so's clothing, and that person's no longer alive, or that or whatever the case may be. Like, that person gave me their clothes before they died, or left my life, or moved away, or whatever. I had all these clothes that had holes. They were bleached. They were stained up. Some of Anna's old clothes. I mean, there was just tons of old clothes. So I decided I was gonna make some. I took the cotton top and the fleece back, old pajamas, flannel. I used just a bunch of different clothing and made them work for me. And they did. And I ended up getting rid of the first set because I actually learned to make a pattern. Because I just did it like, I just cut out a piece of cardboard that looked like a pad, and then I don't have them anymore, so I can't show you. But I just cut out a piece of fabric that looked like a pad, and then stuck two little wings out on each side and called it a pad type thing. I still like sewed, flipped, and stitched type thing, but anyway, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let me just finish this one little thing. So anyway, I learned how to make a pattern, so I started buying the small fabrics from Meyer. They're about a yard, not a yard, a square piece of fabric. You can make about 4 pads out of it. So I started buying those. I started buying microfiber insert, like microfiber from the automobile section. And that was working for a while, and then my periods got a little heavier now that I'm off the fertility treatments. So I started having to make some more and use different materials, and I finally got a system that works for me. Okay, so now I'm starting to buy from actual makers. Like, I'm buying from Wham right now. I'm waiting for my order from Grizzly Nightshade, and that's the only thing that I've ordered so far. I want to see if I even like Zorb or any those types of materials, so I'm waiting for those. But other than that, that's it. I make my own. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, tell me what you want to see, and I will catch you next time. Bye!